I'd now like to introduce Garth Whyte. Garth is the President and CEO of Fertilizer Canada, and he's likely familiar to a number of you. He's been involved with the agriculture sector for some time, Restaurants Canada before. I think we mentioned this morning, we first met on Canadian Agriculture Policy Institute's Advisory Committee. So he's been involved in agriculture for quite some time. Fertilizer Canada is very involved with manufacturers and wholesale and retail distributors of fertilizer products. So, Garth, I'd like you to come up and give us a bit of an overview of your sector, and appreciate hearing from you.
Thanks, Ron. Yeah, I was reflecting back on it because I've known a lot of you over the years. I cut my teeth in Saskatchewan almost, I don't want to say it, but 40 years ago, working in ag and then in Manitoba. And then I was the founder of the Red Tape Commission under Goodale, and then under Flaherty it was continued. And of course, ag, that's a big issue, right? Paper burden was one of the things you kept telling us about. You work all day, and then all of a sudden you got to do paperwork. And so we worked hard to deal with that and bad regulations. So that's one of the things. But I'm going to be here. I'm not going to talk about our industry. I'm not going to talk about the ammonia codes that we cover. I'm not going to talk about a lot of those things. I'm going to talk about, my challenge is I'm going to talk about 10 years of soil science research called For Our Nutrient Stewardship in 5 minutes. For Our Nutrient Stewardship will play a key role to achieve Dominic Barton's committee's target to make Canada one of the top exporters in the world. For Our Nutrient Stewardship will help the ag sector significantly increase profitability and production, while at the same time reduce its environmental impact and increase public trust. This is a picture and a story that was in the Toronto Star this summer. And public trust and social license to operate is a major concern to the fertilizer industry. The story was about algae bloom that may happen in Lake Erie. The picture is someone swimming in China. If it doesn't highlight, if we don't tell our story, someone else will tell it for us. And 4R tells a very important environmental story. In fact, the International Joint Commission that oversees the plan for Great Lakes recommends 4R stewardship management as the strategy, an important strategy to reduce the Lake Erie algae bloom. It's also been recognized by the Food and Agriculture Organization, by the UN, the USDA. Others are talking about 4R, and we started it here in Canada. 4R nutrient stewardship also significantly reduces greenhouse gases. Nitrous oxide is 300 times worse than carbon emissions. Producers can reduce nitrous oxide crop emissions by more than 25%, and at the same time increase profitability, studies have shown, by $87, up to $87 an acre. So you're helping the environment, you're increasing your profitability. And to put this into perspective, if in Western Canada alone, if we reduce nitrous oxide by 25%, that would be about 1 to 2 megatons reduction. That is equivalent to 126 million car emissions, or 240 billion liters of gas consumed. Now that's a game changer. So you've seen, the studies are out there, and in your package was something on 4R nutrient stewardship. It's a very simple concept, isn't it? The right source of fertilizer applied at the right rate, the right time, and the right place. In other words, put the right fertilizer, to your crop, not to the air, to the water. However, it's very complex because it varies by farm. Different soil, different climate, different crop, and different geography. So we have to work together to figure out a strategy by farm. So that's what was in your handout. Now, I'm not going to list all those things. What that shows you is we have a network across Canada. We have about 40 demonstration farms. We've got a network of researchers, and we've been doing research studies jointly funded by Fertilizer Canada and Agriculture Canada. We have 6 memorandum of understandings with 6 provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, PEI, and New Brunswick. And you know, Dominic was talking about the Holland example and how they work together. We've been doing that. when it comes to this research. It's a private sector, public sector collaboration with federal and provincial governments, fertilizer industry, growers, ag retailers, certified crop advisors, academia. We have environment and conservation groups involved in this process. So the table's set. The program's in place. We have put a goal out there that we want to have 20 million 4R designated acres by 2020. Currently, we have between 2 and 4 million acres. 70% of growers know about 4Rs. They're already practicing it because intuitively they've been doing a lot of this. We're going to be formalizing the process and building partnerships. So my pitch, collaborate with us. Join the movement. Let's find an approach that works for your specific sector and your specific area and region. And finally, we're going to come back, Ron, we'd like to have a CFA 4R resolution. Because this is a voluntary program, it's a win-win-win solution. It helps the grower more profitable, it helps the environment, and it helps build public trust. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Garth. I think listening to the presentation, it really ties into the discussions we've held around building public trust, doing the right thing and demonstrating that we're doing it. So you were saying about a resolution supporting the 4Rs initiative. I would actually stand here as chair, and if somebody wanted to put up their hand and support, move that, I'd accept that as a motion from the floor. Linda, seconder, Dan. Any discussion? You did a good job. All those in favor? There you have it.